All right. Coming back at you again. First and foremost, we want to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashin Yahweh Shai, Bashin Kakwadash. Second, we give the bonus to the apostles of Jesus that rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation to the hopefully elect. That it consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and West Indians. This is a follow-up. Let me see something. Close this out. So, the real criminals, but the accuser of our brethren, Esau, paints us as the most heinous criminals, even though it just doesn't make sense. Us being a small statistic, that's why you can't really go by numbers. They try to claim, we're the majority of the problems of the world, America. but we're not a majority. We're labeled as a minority. We're known as the minority. So again, that goes back to the indoctrination. So ChatGPT again, my man. I asked ChatGPT what are some criminal things whites did to blacks during slavery, and this is what came up. So, how you say? Control your bowels and let's proceed. So it says during chattel slavery in the Americas, and this includes you know what, Lord's will, I'm going to start going into Native Americans devastations, so-called Indians, Arawak, the Aztecs, the Mayans, etc., which makes up the whole all other tribes of Israel, and Lord's will I can bring it forth. But again, this is the Americas. We have North America, that some goes into Canada as well. You have Central America, and you have South America. So these are all the atrocities. So many actions committed by white enslavers and governments. Oh man, there you go. There you go. We know who the governments are. Against so-called black people will be considered serious crimes under modern law. Hey, there you go. Crimes, criminals, the real criminals. Here are some key examples explained factually and non-graphically, right? So let's proceed. Number one, kidnapping and human trafficking. Millions of Africans, I'm going to just read it verbatimly. We know these Africans were the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So it says, because we ultimately knew the rest of the tribes were here on the Western Hemisphere, which were, conquered during the early voyages of Christopher Columbus and other Edomites, conquistadors in roughly 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. Then came 1600s. Then came to the southern tribes, and you have this present day. That I believe in 1776, that's when the Illuminati was formed, and then ultimately bringing up of this New World Order. So millions of Africans were captured, sold, and transported by force. Enslaved people were treated as property, not as human beings. That's why it's very funny. Esau talks about justice, liberty, and justice for all. And, they're always bringing up these human rights, which is all bullshit. It just goes into the painting a good picture. The witchcraft and the sorcery. Salakia. So today this will be classified as human trafficking and kidnapping. Now, they just painted Diddy as a main culprit. But what about the so-called whites, right? Okay, Diddy did what he did. I get it. Fuck him. He should have been put to fucking death. But hey, you know, he was used to do what he did, and he was there for a reason. Esau used him greatly, and but then they're trying to punish him with human trafficking and kidnapping. Well, what about the Edomites? You know, what about the music execs? You know, what about the governments? Continuing on, two, forced labor, slavery itself. This is why America got rich, and that's why we just brought this out. I had the brother Rob bringing out. He pretty much brought out what companies and uh, still benefit. What companies today have benefited from slavery? You have a lot of insurance companies, banks, etc. So forced slavery, slavery itself, this is two. Enslaved people were first forced to work without pay, often under threat, refusing to work, refusing to work, refusing to work could lead to punishment. This violates modern laws against slavery and forced labor. And, you know, again, modern laws, they talk about, these rights, but that shit is all bullshit, you know? Because, you know, how in the hell you started a society like that and you shaped a society like that, but then when you're on power and got the power and wealth and resources, you want to make laws. Fuck out of here, Esau. And then now you demonize us as if we're the criminals. Come on, man. Come on. Stop it. So, three, physical abuse and punishment. Enslaved people were often punished to enforce control. There were no legal protections for them against abuse. Today, this would be assault, torture, and child abuse. Many enslaved people were children. Oh man. And you can, the simple ones. It's chapped. Hey, yeah, okay. Well, I get it. I got you, my man. You can just go to the museums all across America. It'll paint you. It'll give you the picture. You know. Number four, family separation. Parents, children, and spouses were sold away from each other. Families could be broken apart at any time. This would be considered abuse and unlawful family separation. Five, sexual violence and exploitation. Enslaved women and girls. Oh man, here we go. The women, she's a woman, she's a woman. Everybody yells and shouts out today. She's a girl. She's a woman. You have no right to touch her. And so the enslaved women and girls had no legal ability to refuse sexual exploitation. Enslavers were not punished for this. Oh man, Esau. Under modern law, this is sexual assault and rape. But once Esau got everything in grasp and everybody in control, he changed the law. He brought the whole sexual assault, rape. And then lock your ass up for years. But this is how this system was shaped and fashioned. I find that ironic. He can do the graping, but yeah, he can do the graping and all the touching and the sexual assaulting. But if a modern person does it out here, they give him the death penalty. They lock his ass up, basically for life. But why not? Come on, like what's going on with the governments, man? What's going on? The scripture says, as the governor, as the judge, so is the people. So denial of basic human rights. Enslaved people were denied education, freedom of movement, legal protection, the right to testify in court. These are violations of basic human and civil rights because there wasn't none. Once Esau got in complete control and power, this is when he tried to play, basically devil's advocate. This is when he tried to play good man, bad man. all of a sudden he had a change of heart, and justice and liberty and for all. It's all bullshit. But Esau still gets over to this day. Because he's what? Why? Because he's a true criminal. He's the criminal. He's the fugitive. Going back to Cain. 7. Laws that enforce slavery. Governments pass laws that protected enslavers, punished enslaved people for resisting. So, hey man, it's not ironic now. If you rebel against the system, they call you the T word. If you speak out against the system, they label you crazy or psychotic. Um, this Gideon and all this other new fashions of a camera system is being all set in place, especially the MOTB. Require others to return escaped enslaved people. These laws legalize injustice and will now be unconstitutional. Again, I find that very ironic. So let me see. Let me see something else. Hold on. Let me see. How slavery affects continued after emancipation. Okay, they try to claim that you're free. Let's look and see what it says. After slavery, let me see. So after slavery officially ended in the United States in 1865, and I believe roughly that's when the beginning of the presidencies came forth. So Esau tried to paint a good picture. He tried to paint a very good picture as if the world has changed. But ultimately, this infrastructure and this system was ready to go to the next level. So basically, he needed all nations to get on board. So it says, hold on. So many systems were created that kept Black Americans at a disadvantage for generations. Here are the main ways slavery's impact continued after emancipation. Because to say you were free, right? Explain clearly and age appropriately. So you had the black codes and unfair laws. Again, this is the criminal. This is the real criminal. And then they wonder, you got the bitch, fucking Edomite bitch, Pearl, talking about, blacks are criminals. Well, okay. Well, show me a system where you had one people which was never restored or never given no type of fairness. Everything we tried to do, everything was taken, burnt, stolen, eradicated from us, and then we were put against each other, etc. It was again, we were destroyed as a nation. So anybody that says anything different and tries to justify what the so-called white man has done to our people, hey, fuck you, straight up, it's like that. So black codes and unfair laws. Southern states passed black codes to control newly free black people. These laws limited where black people could live, work, and travel. Minor actions could lead to arrest and forced labor. Effect: freedom existed on paper, but not in daily life. So convict leasing. Number 2, convict leasing, forced labor after slavery. Black people were arrested at very high rates for small or made-up offenses. Prisoners were forced to work for private companies. Ultimately, this is why the new code name was what? Criminals. So what? They can lock your ass up. Same thing to this day. That's what the scripture talks about. This is the people snared and thrown in prison houses. This system closely resembled slavery. Effect: Forced labor continue under a different name. Yeah, that's what Esau does. He changes the name. That's all he does. But hey, he's a criminal. He shapes. He turns. He uses newspeak. So because every generation use certain words, and then new generation he tried to switch the names. Sharecropping and debt traps. Many free families had no land or money. They worked on white-owned land in exchange for a share of crops. Unfair contracts kept families in constant debt. Effect: economic freedom was blocked. So, for violence and intimidation, groups like the Ku Klux Klan used threats and violence to control black communities. Violence was often ignored or supported by local authorities. Effect: fear was used to prevent equality. And it's, still to this day. 5. Jim Crow segregation. Laws enforce racial separation in schools, transportation, housing, and jobs. Separate facilities for black people were almost always worse. Effect: unequal treatment became legal and normalized. And one thing for certain, you got to realize, just because we got integrated, it didn't make anything better. It made everything worse. Now you definitely, damn sure, you've been, basically you've been moved and became powerless, and you've been moved around, and you have no source of no togetherness, and you have no neighborhood. So basically, you pretty much just went right into the heart and the beast, the heart of the beast, the belly of the beast, man. Instead of staying away, being separated from our people, integrating was one of the worst things blacks could ever do. So voting suppression, 6 poll taxes, literary tests, and intimidation stopped black people from voting. This prevented black communities from influencing laws that affected them. Effect: political power was taken away. So to this day, we have no say so. This is why these people that govern and control us, and we had no say so on it. We don't, like, where the fuck did these people come from? Where the fuck do these people come from when we don't know these people? 7, education inequality. Schools for black children received far less funding. Limited education reduced future job opportunities. Because again, Esau can just use fucking names and code names and laws to just pretty much banish you from systems and the ability for you to move forward. That's a criminal, man. You know, Effect: inequality was passed down generations, even to this day. 8, housing and wealth gaps. Black families were denied home loans and forced into poorer neighborhoods. White families were able to build wealth through home ownership. Effect: long-lasting wealth inequality. And this is why ultimately any you Edomites that's suffering now, hey, you deserve it. You're a two-time loser. So, the system has been rigged for you to win. It's been rigged for you to, pretty much way far succeed more than our people. So if you Edomites out there now, suffering from drug problems or just, a complete loser, hey, that's on you. How dare you ask a so-called black person for any type of help? Me honestly, anytime I Edomite ask for me if anything, quite, you know, I act like I don't hear them. Non-stereotypes and racism. Harmful ideas created during slavery were used to justify discrimination. These ideas influenced media, education, and law enforcement, ultimately TV. And this is why ultimately they created a new nigger, a new animal beast mindset of blacks, and painted them as the criminals, starting with gangster rap, crack cocaine era, etc. Effect: social and psychological harm continued. Um, So while this still matters today, wealth gaps, school funding differences, and unequal treatment didn't appear randomly. They developed over many generations due to these systems, man. So just something real quick. Not gonna be too long. I want to go hit the gym. God damn. So Obadiah 1, the vision of Obadiah, and it's another one. It's what, Psalms. I can't remember. Thus said the Lord, power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador sent among the heathen, and that's the prophets. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle, because we understand, the Lord is going to have Esau war with him, going into, I believe, Isaiah 59, when Yahushua is going to come back with Michael, the great angel, if I'm saying it correctly, and with the multitude of angels and chariots. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, because really, you Edomites are really the minority. Thou art greatly despised, and that's what's going on. The world is really starting to see, you are the problem, and how ultimately is that being known through the prophets, because we understand, them Islamic, Muslim, Buddhist, Hamite, whatever people that claim that their religion is a power is being sought to see, is being shown that they're nobodies, because where are their prophets? So it says 3, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, that thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And it's like you had that, man. Damn, I wish I could find that video, man. Man, that Esau was talking some cold cash shit. I believe the brother, I think the Hopeful Elect 3. I think Hopeful Elect 3. Let me see. I'm looking, see on the phone. Yeah, that Edomite was talking cold cash shit. Hold on. Here we go. Salaki. Come on. What's going on? Damn, I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it, man. But that Edomite was talking cold cash shit. But it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and this is let me see something. Let me pull that up real quick. This is not a coincidence. Um, what is America's emblem? Uh-oh. There it go. Shit, man. That's yo. So I'm gonna read this again. I'm gonna show y'all this picture. So it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and I'm gonna show y'all. This is Esau's emblem. That eagle. See that? It says the American. Hold on. It says the national emblem of the USA is the bald eagle, chosen by the Second Continental Congress in 1782 for its strength, independence, and majestic appearance, symbolizing American liberty and power, and prominently featured on the Great Seal of the United States. Um, Currency and official documents, the Great Seal with the eagle holding olive branches and arrows serves as the primary emblem, representing authority and statehood. So, not a coincidence, man. It's not a coincidence. And the Bible, speaks for itself. So it said, "For thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord." You know, and it said, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up?" By the prophets. And the whole time, him being an accuser of us, blaming us for being criminals and we're the fuck ups of the earth. He's starting to come to find out you are the problem of the earth. But I'm gonna go wrap this thing up. Those way you was edified with them. Say shalom.